The last stock question. Let's talk about REITs. REITs is something that we haven't spent too much time on. Real estate investment trust. CCI, which is a REIT.
Yeah.
Popular REITs.
I'd do some homework on that.
Well, first of all, YouTube. Almost 6,000 people want to check in.
Red Panda family.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the two.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Thumbs up on that.
Hit the like button. And shout out to Director Dollar for the super chat. Appreciate it. How do you feel about CCI?
Director Dollar, go trademark that name. That's a good name. CCI is probably one of the only REITs that I like because people, they think I only like the 2 index strategy. But last year, to Elite and Stock Club, this is one of the ones that I mentioned when it was pretty cheap. Shout out to my guy Drew. He put me onto it, and a couple other people did. It's actually coming to a price that I like around 165.17. If it gets there, I'd be elated. But when I had people get into it in 2020, it was at 122.15, and it went up to 204. So it's been a good run. So if you guys are looking for a real Matt, you would be happy. I finally mentioned something real estate related. CCI does have pretty good growth. It's pretty stable. And if you look at back in 2002, it actually got down to $1, which is insane. Going back to the 20-year hold. And if you would have held it for that 20-year period, it went to 143. So it probably is one of the greatest investments of all time if anyone has held it over 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
So CCI I like a lot.
So it's and this is just I just wanted to add to it. So it's an infrastructure REIT. And so I was like, okay, have I seen that before? And so basically what it does is what they do is they have a portfolio of macro cell towers. And so we talk about communication, right? We see towers going up for communication. This is what they invest in. And so right now, obviously, cell towers, everybody's going to say, well, there's 5G. And so obviously, this is a company that is very aware of that. And so that's something that they'll probably be focusing on for the next 5 to 10 years is how do we build smaller cell towers and how do we get into the fiber cable operations of things. And so, yeah, they had an amazing run, but they have potential for the future as well. So keep an eye out on CCI, infrastructure REIT.
Guys don't need that many. 4, 2 tech, 2 index, no stress. But for my veterans, it's a good one to add.
How do we feel about REITs in general?
I don't like
them. Why don't you like REITs, Ian?
If I could draft LeBron over Jeremy Lin, who would you draft?
LeBron.
Now, I think Jordan's the greatest player of all time, but we won't have this debate again. But I'm just okay. This is my determining factor on everything. What can give me the most return on my money? I want us as investors in this culture to stop being caught up on like the love and hip hop version of investing, where we're going to talk our way out of everything. If you give me a REIT that can give me 38 to 45% return in a year, I'll invest in it clear as day. If you've invested in a Tesla or AMD or Nvidia and you got more than 35% return, please put yes in chat. I just don't see any REITs that give me 40% return in a year. If there is one, I'll for sure take it. It's not there. Also, my personal theory is if I want to be exposed to real estate in a safe way, I'm going to invest in McDonald's, which happens to be the biggest real estate company in the United States. I don't care about feelings. I want to look at the data and I want to bet on all winners. So if I have a chance to get Brady, I'm going to get Brady every time. Yes, I love Pat Mahomes. But when we was at Joe's house last Super Bowl, I was like, I know Pat looks like Black Jesus. I'm not betting against Tom. Tom played at Michigan. I saw what he did to IU when I was like, yo, there's certain companies, certain entities, certain stocks that always seem to do the impossible. Starbucks, McDonald's, Home Depot, any company that has a bunch of commercial locations, and McDonald's makes the majority of its money. If Chick-fil-A ever became publicly traded, I'll be all over it.
Lights out.
Yep. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
They'll never do it. But if so, there are certain, and if you're looking in terms of market share and mind share, McDonald's has way more mind share than any REIT that you can ever name. It's just about who can produce the most. And that's why even in investing, I focus on solely and exclusively on being able to get the highest returns. Because I know if I lose that edge, I don't have anything. So when I'm looking at investments, I'm like, I need to pick something that's going to give me the biggest bang for my buck that can put up 40 a night and I don't have to worry about. REITs don't do that. We can argue it, But if we go look at the data from 1900 through now, name me a REIT over a 10-year holding period that averaged 35%. Cat Williams' voice, don't worry, I'll wait. You can put them together, but it's not there. It's not there.
Nope. And McDonald's is in XLY.
Big fact.
Yep.
For you ETF lovers out there.
As well as Tesla, which had a nice little increase over the past couple of days.
2 for 1.
Yeah.